Hi all, this is the third video from our TCS NQT series. And in the previous video, we have discussed logical reasoning questions. And in this video, we are going to discuss quantitative aptitude questions. So, going for a first question. And the question is, an article was sold for rupees 2,770 rupees. Had it been sold for rupees 3,000, there would have been an additional gain of 10%. Cost price of the article is, and they have given the option as rupees 2,100, 2,200, 2,300 and 2,400. Pause the video and try to solve the question. Shall we go for the answer? So here they are saying like this article was sold for rupees 2,770 rupees, and they are saying like they would have fetched about 10% more if it is sold for rupees 3,000. Okay, and here we can see a difference of what? About 230 rupees, right? And directly we can relate like this. This 230 rupees is nothing but what? That 10%. Okay, so 10% is 230 rupees, right? So if 10% is 230 rupees, then what will be 100%? 100% will be what? 2,300, which means the actual amount. So going for second question. Another question is, Rakesh buys a scooter worth rupees 10,000. He sell it to Mohan at a profit of 10%. If after some time, Mohan sell it back to Rakesh at a loss of 10%, then totally. So they have given some option here. Okay. So guys, pause the video and try to solve the question. Okay. Shall we go for the answer? So here they are saying like Rakesh buys a scooter worth rupees 10,000. So he bought it for 10,000 rupees, right? Now he sell it to Mohan at a profit of 10%, which means Mohan is buying that for 10% extra, which means 11,000 rupees. Okay. If after some time Mohan sell it back to Rakesh at a loss of 10%. So Mohan is selling it back to Rakesh at a loss of 10%, which means Mohan is selling at 90% of the actual amount, which means here he is selling it for 9,900 rupees. Now here, if you check the amount got by Rakesh, here in the first one we can see a difference of 1,000 rupees. Okay, which means he already got 1,000 rupees extra, and again he is buying it back for what? 9,900, and here also he gains 100 rupees more, which means what? Totally Rakesh is gaining, or Rakesh got about 1,100 rupees extra. So here the answer is Rakesh gains rupees 1,100 rupees, which is there in option D. Now let's move on to question number 3. So guys, pause the video and try to solve the question. Going for the answer. So here they are saying like the listed price of electric iron is rupees 300 rupees. Okay. So if two successive discount 15% and 10% are allowed, its selling price will be. So here they are giving two successive discount of 15% and 10%. So if you are giving a discount of 15%, it would have been 85%. Then again 10%, which means what? 90% of total amount. And this one we can write as what? 85. So total successive discount given is nothing but 85 by 100 multiply with 90 by 100. So multiplying these two together, we'll get by 10,000, which means the total successive discount that affected is about 76.50%. Okay, so which means we need to find 76.50% of 300, which is nothing but about 229.50, and here answer is there in option A. Now moving on to next one, question number 4. Just check the question and try to solve it. Shall we go for the answer? So here they are saying like a man bought a number of clips at 3 for a rupee and an equal number at 2 for a rupee. At what price per dozen should he sell them to make a profit of 20%? So here, if you check if we take 2 dozens, okay, for buying 2 dozen, so 3 for a rupee, so which means 3 into, if you take 1 dozen, it is 12, so 1/3 of 12 plus 1/2 of 12th. Okay, now 1/3 of 12 is 4 and 1/2 of 12 is 6, which means what? About 10 rupees. So for buying 2 dozen, he need to pay 10 rupees. And what they're saying is, at what price he need to sell them for gaining a profit of 20%. So which means we need to find 20% of 10, and 20% of 10 is nothing but what? Sorry, not 20%, 120% of 10. 120% of 10 is 12 rupees. So here we have found the total amount, and here our question is nothing but at what price per dozen he should sell them. So for 2 dozen he need to pay 12 rupees, which means for 1 dozen he need to pay only 6 rupees, and which is there in option C. Now moving on to next one, pause the video and try to solve the question. Going for the answer, a necklace and a shop were sold for rupees 1 lakh each. In this transaction, the necklace sale resulted into 20% loss, whereas a shop sale resulted into 20% profit. His net profit or loss percentage is. And here we can see, so guys, actually this question we can solve in a traditional method, like what? Finding 120% and 80% like that, but I'm not preferring that one because it will take much time, so I'm using a shortcut here. So here, this type of question we can solve using a equation, and the equation is a plus b plus ab by 100, and here a and b represent the percentages that they have mentioned here. Here a is 20% and b is also 20%. So writing the same here, substituting the same here. So 20, so here a is actually low, so minus 20 plus, and here it is plus 20 gain, so it is plus 20 plus 20 into 20 minus 20 into plus 20 divided by 100. So here minus positive negative values will be cancelled out, and here we get the answer as minus 400 by 100, and answer will be minus 4. So since it is negative, we can simply say as what? It will be negative. So it would have been entered in a loss. So answer is option B. It is actually minus 4% loss. Moving on to question number 5. So pause the video and try to solve the question. Shall we go for the answer? And here our question states, at a certain party, the ratio of gents and ladies was 1:2. So the ratio of gents and ladies was 1:2. So it is, if there is x gents are there, the number of ladies will be 2x. Okay. And after that, what they're saying is, but when 2 gents and 2 ladies left the party, the ratio become 1:3. So which means 2 gents are going from x. So to x minus 2x, so x minus 2 divided by 2x minus 2 is nothing but what? 1/3. Okay. Now we're just going to solve it like what? 3x minus 2 equal to 2x minus 2. So from this one we can, 3x minus, here it is 6 only. Okay. So from this we can write as x is nothing but 4. And here we got the value of x as 4. And now what we need to find is, we need to find how many people were there initially present in the party. So here we got the value of x as 4, and we know that there's a total of what? 3x people. So which means 3x is nothing but 3 into 4. which means the answer is nothing but 12, and it is there in option A. Now we are moving on to the next one. Try to solve the question. Going for a solution. So here the question states the population of the village decrease at a rate of 20% per annum. If its population 2 years ago was 10,000, what is its present population? So this question clearly states there is a successive decrease of 20%, right? Successive decrease of 20% 2 times. So which means what has happened is 20% decrease means there would have been only 80%. So 80%, so 80 by 100, and again 20% decrease, 80 by 100, which means nothing but what? About 6400 by 10,000, which we can write as 64%. So initially if there is 100% people were there, now there will be only 64%. And for this question directly we can say 64% of 10,000. It is nothing but what? 6,400, and it is there in option C. Now moving on to question number 7. Pause the video and try to solve the question. So let's go for the answer. So here our question states a certain sum of money at simple interest become 1062 in 2 years. So in 2 years, it's becoming 1062, the total amount. And in 3.5 years, it's becoming 1183.50. And here in this question we need to find the rate of interest per annum. So if we check this one, here we can see a difference of what? About 121.5 rupees in 1.5 years. Okay, so in 1.5 years there's a difference of 121.5 rupees, and simply that will be nothing but what? The interest. Okay, interest for 1.5 years. So if for 1.5 years, if it is 121.5, directly we can find the interest for 1 year. Okay, so 1 year it will be simply we need to find the 2/3 of 121.5, and simply that is nothing but 81 rupees. And here we know in 2 years the total amount is nothing but 1062, and for 1 year if it is 81, then for interest for 2 years it will be 162 rupees. Clear? Now the interest for 2 years is 162 and the total amount is 1062, and here directly we can find the principal amount, and simply that is nothing but the total amount 1062 minus that 162, and here we got our principal amount as what? 900 rupees. Now in this question they are asking for rate of interest per annum. Okay, so we know that for finding rate of interest we are having the principal amount and the interest, it is 81, and simply multiplying that with 100, directly we will get the rate of interest, and when we are doing this one we get the answer as 9%, which is there in option C. So guys, going for the question number 8, pause the video and try to solve the question. So let's go for the answer. So here what they're saying is if the simple interest on a sum at 4% per annum for 2 years is 80 rupees. So here we know that the equation for simple interest is PNR T by 100. Okay, so here what they are saying is for 2 years, so principal amount is not there and rate of interest is nothing but 4, and number of year it is 2 divided by 100 is nothing but 80. So from this one we can find principal amount is nothing but 80 into 100 divided by 4 into 2. So here it is 8. So principal amount we got it as what? 1000 rupees. Now we need to find the compound interest on the same sum. So here we know that for finding compound interest for 2 years, the equation is nothing but 2PR plus PR square. So here I'm just going to find the variables here, the value of variables here. So PR, and here the value of P is 1000 and R percent of 1000, which means 4%, which is nothing but 40. Okay, now we need to find PR square. So PR square we can write as PR into R, right? So we have already got PR, which is nothing but 40, and we are going to find 4% of 40, and 1% is 0.4, which means 4% will be 1.6, and substituting the value here. Here the equation is 2 into 40 plus 1.6, and here answer will be 80 plus 1.6, and it will be 81.6, and it is there in option D. So here comes our last question. The difference in simple interest and compound interest on a certain sum of money in 2 years at 10% per annum is 50 rupees. We need to find the sum. So here we know that for 2 years in simple interest, the total amount will be, the interest will be 2PR. Okay, and in the case of compound interest, it will be 2PR plus PR square. And here they have given the difference as 50 rupees. And from this one, we can simply say as word, we know that definitely the amount obtained in compound interest will be more than simple interest. So compound interest minus simple interest is nothing but that 50 rupees, right? Now we can substitute the value here. So 2PR plus PR square minus 2PR is nothing but 50 rupees. So from this one we can subtract, we can cancel out 2PR here, and we can simply write as PR square as 50. And here they have given the interest rate, and that is 10%. And if I substitute here 10%, I am just writing it as 0.1. So 0.1 square as 50. So 0.1 square we can again write as 0.01 50. Okay, so we can directly find P principal amount as 50 by 0.01, which is nothing but 5,000 rupees, and it is there in option C. Thank you all. Let's meet again with another video.